Michael Jackson is someone I had met previously, prior to the initial molestation allegations in 1993. So the molestation charges, the original in 93 and the 2005 in Santa Barbara, California, that period between 93 and 2005, I did not speak to Michael at all, although I knew him in the earlier days when he was the hottest interview in the world. But I never interviewed, but I did speak with him. When I got to him in 2005, it was because I think it was his brother Randy said there's more to this story than meets the eye, and he became my source along with Joe Jackson, the dad. And they pointed out a couple of things to me in 2005. They pointed out, for example, actually it was prior to the trial, so I'd say 2003 through 2004. Although he was already under investigation and they thought he'd be charged. They pointed out to me that the 2005 complaining witness was represented by the same lawyer as the complaining witness in 1993. That the psychologist in 2005 was the same psychologist in 1993. That the victim seemed to be saying almost verbatim what the transcript in the earlier case, which was settled out of court, the 1993 charge. So, and pointed out also that the purported victim in 2005 was a child who was a cancer victim who was physically infirm, and that Michael had access to, like this guy in Penn State, had access to dozens and dozens of children. Why would he settle on this cancer victim? So I started pointing out why I thought the case could be flawed, the case against him flawed. And so Randy or Dad made a meeting with me and Michael, and I met him at Neverland Ranch, and then again in Encino in the Valley. And the third time I brought my camera, and they said no interview then, but get to know him more, hang out with him more, and I became his confidant in the weeks and months leading up to the trial, when he was becoming increasingly isolated and insulated. And I got to meet him and spend time with him in a way that was like John Lennon in a sense. I got to know everything about him. He came to trust me, and I was with him when he was just him and watching the two little children. I was with him, and it was just him alone, pondering his fate and bemoaning his fate. We walk and talk, and I just got to know him, and sometimes he behaved in a very bizarre fashion, and other times he was kind of very melancholy, sometimes just crazy. And I finally convinced him to do the interview, but then just before the interview I got a call from his lawyer, who was with the judge in the case, and they said if I asked him anything about the case, he would be convicting himself, and Tom Mesereau, the lawyer, and he would take action against me, blah, blah. Make a long story short, before I got to do the interview, I was given the admonition that I couldn't talk about the allegations. But I got to know Michael, and just like Clinton, in the sense that Clinton never showed his gratitude in an obvious way, in an on-camera interview or access. So too Michael Jackson, but Michael just kind of disappeared after he was acquitted, and so the intimate friendship lasted as long as the verdict.